a show where we tell you the history of your favorite historians.
Whoa, that's actually a really good idea for a show. Wait, that's really good.
So this week, I thought we could talk about overstepping in friendships.
Sure.
Because as someone who's trying to rein in my bluntness, I now find that to be...
I was about to say 2 experts. 2 things you and I are real good at.
What made me think of this actually was at my mom's unveiling, which is a Jewish tradition where you return to the cemetery a year after someone's passing-ish, and unveil the gravestone, and people, it's kind of like a mini funeral. Mm-hmm. We just had that for my mom, and like 2 people who spoke, my aunt and her oldest friend, were talking about how my mom doesn't pull punches or didn't. And, like, she would sort of, like, tell it to you real in a way that, like, not all friends do.
Oh.
And I was sitting there and I was like, sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I texted my friend Emma and told her, and I was like, I felt like my friends would say the same about me, and she died laughing.
Yeah. I think as I've gotten older, I appreciate that more, because I think now I'm 37, and I'm so annoyed by people who, like, won't commit to a side or won't, like, tell me what they really think. And so I can tell they're just putting me off so that they don't have to say anything controversial. And I'm like, oh my God, just, if you think I'm stupid or hysterical or dumb, just, or don't make any sense, just tell me.
But so that's the question, though, right? Like, how would you want to be told that?
Oh, I suddenly have a choice? Well, I was thinking a lot about, I wasn't thinking a lot about this. I thought it one time while we were recording, because sometimes you say to me, that doesn't make any sense. And I want to be like, no, you just don't understand. I'm making perfect sense. So actually, you putting it on me by saying I'm not making any sense, what's happening is you're not understanding. And then I was like, yeah, that's good. And I wrote it down to maybe bring up at a later date.
Okay, so I think I can say I don't understand.
Yeah.
I need more information to understand what you mean.
But I don't want, I like people that are like, yeah, sure, but they don't actually get it and they won't say they don't get it. Then I'm like, what are we even doing?
I think, like, a big thing I'm learning is that sometimes people are open to hearing feedback and sometimes they're not. And so, like, I think a big part of being a good friend is, like, kind of, like, figuring that out.
If they're open to feedback.
And then, like, when, right? Like, there might be a period, like, you might end up having a conversation where, like, actually suddenly they're, like, kind of willing to talk about this thing that they normally, like, don't want to talk about. And so, like, maybe you could say, like, a little bit more there than you would otherwise.
Yeah.
Or they're coming to you trying to get your opinion about something.
Right.
But other times, like, they just, like, they're not looking for that. They don't want that input. They don't want that advice. And they just, like, want to vent. Or they don't even, like, think that there's anything to even say or comment about.
I find it so hard not to, I mean, this is how you know I'm a guy, I guess, is not to jump in with what we could do or how to fix it or what you should think instead or, oh no, just do this. You and I have had that where I'm like, well, just don't feel that way. And you're like, so that's not a thing. That is hard for me because there are people in my life that I know need to think about certain things and need to get real and need help. And they don't want to hear it.
So what do you do?
Kind of like don't talk to them as much. Which I know is bad because what you were just saying is like, well, you know, you have to take people where they're at and you have to, but I'm like, maybe I'm just old now, but I'm like, I can't. What are we just going to sit here and pussyfoot around things? We're just going to have tea and not talk about it? What are we doing? What is this? Fucking garden society? No, it's a friendship.
I think a thing that can be really tricky is, like, if something is, like, awry in their relationship.
Oh, well, yeah.
And, like, you know, when to be like, that's actually concerning versus, like, just, like, listening, you know? And, like, that gentle thing to walk of, like, well, like, maybe you guys, like, do need couples therapy, or have you thought about this? Because people's relationships are so individual and they have such different views of, like, what is and isn't okay. Like, my version of, like, what is and isn't okay is going to be different than other people.
Yeah. You're being so nice. I'm like, if people can't take feedback, I can't talk to you at this point in my life. I'm like, so, you know, it's like when I was younger and I would see how, like, entrenched my grandmother was in, like, the way that she was, I would always be like, God, she's like so unmoving. But now as I'm like heading into that, I'm like, who has the time? I don't fucking care. Like, I feel more like, you know what? Just, I can't baby you.
So you're saying you're becoming your grandmother?
Yeah, I'm becoming my grandmother where I'm like, I can't baby you. Because I would feel like, I'd be like, what? Just mend the friendship. Like, she would like not be friends with these people. And I'd be like, but you've been friends for such a long time. Like, just mend the friendship. And she'd be like, I can't. They're driving me nuts. And I'm like, well.
So I feel like if your friend is stuck on something and like they don't listen and like
what do you do?
I think it's that you make sure that they know that the door is open to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? So like it's not my job to fix you. It's not my job to make you see things my way. Mm-hmm. It's my job to like be here and be supportive of you. And if at some point you come to the realization on your own, and you like are ready to talk about it or ready to think about another option, that like I'm so here and I'm ready to help and support in any way possible. I think what can start to like break down the friendship is if like, let's say there is something in your life that like I would love you to change.
Sure.
Which is, I don't think you should be doing your day job because I think
I was like, I had a sort of a few that it could have been. So it's fun that you said one.
No, that's the main one.
Okay.
Like I think it's not good for your health.
Sure.
And I don't think you should be doing a physical job while you're experiencing such chronic pain.
Sure.
Especially with a night shift.
Sure.
But like I sit with like, how much do I bring that up, right? Like you know that I feel that way.
Yeah.
I've said my piece, and then it's like, you know, if I was trying to like every time I saw you to like get in a conversation.
No, if I say, "Oh, I'm tired," you'll use that as an opening, you know. Yeah. If I'm like, "Oh, sorry, like work went late or whatever," you'll be like, "Yeah, I don't think you should do it."
Or like, yeah, so maybe I'm giving a bad example, but
no, but it's not like I walk in the door and you go, "Quit your job."
Right. Like, so it's sort of like I've had to be like, that's not on me.
Yeah.
Like, I've said the thing, and then Gabe can decide what he wants to do. Mm. But, like, if I get, like, too attached to it,
you'll ruminate.
Or, like, too mad about it, then, like, that's destructive. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's also sometimes when our friends are, like, stuck in something, like a bad relationship or, like, not making, like, you know...
a choice that you think is good for them.
Yeah, then it's like, okay, like, I can't talk about this all the time with them.
Yeah.
Or if like it's something that they bring to you and they like talk about but they won't make any changes about, I think it's okay to be like you know my opinion. I don't think you have to like sit in the rumination with them.
Yeah.
If that ends up getting really difficult for you.
Yeah.
But you can make it clear that like if they are ready to talk it through in a different way or ready to hear you, then you're there.
Yeah.
But like when you get dragged into it with them, I think that can be destructive.
Yeah. What if they keep talking about the same thing over and over again, and you also think that they're probably wrong? You know?
Is this, do you have something on me?
No. Like, let's say somebody that I know keeps having problems with other friends, and then they will not shut up about that. And I want to be like, the common denominator.
Well, I think you can say something to the effect of like, yeah, I mean, I wonder, like, I've noticed this pattern.
Yeah.
And then you see how they receive it.
Yeah.
And if they are interested in hearing more, then you can give more. And if they're not, then, you know, I think at a certain point you can be like, I know this is hard for you. Like, I think this is a good thing for you to talk through with a therapist.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, I'll say this. Unrelated. Do you find that the people that most pride themselves on being so open to feedback are some of the least open to feedback people you've ever met in your life?
I don't really
If somebody's whole deal is I love feedback, and then you give them feedback, they are the first person to blow up at you.
I don't have people in my life that are saying that.
Okay, well, there are people that I've known throughout my life that are like, I love criticism. I'm so open to like people's thoughts on like me because I'm so self-aware. Cut to, you like bring them some feedback and they absolutely melt down.
See, I'm not open to feedback, but I'm open to praise.
That's why I like you because you're like, I'm not open to feedback. And that's true.
No, I am. But I much prefer praise.